On today's show, are the Arizona Cardinals getting a new quarterback in 2026? Lots of rumors on this topic specifically that we're going to look at on today's show. You are watching Cardinals Today, presented by Prize Picks. I'm your host, Joey O'Donohue, and I want to give a big thank you to you guys as well to start today's show. Seriously, thank you all because we just hit 3,000 subscribers. It's a pretty new channel, and it's awesome to see that there are Cardinals fans out there that care and are diehard fans and have been diehard fans their whole lives. So if you want to join this family, hit that subscribe button to join this Cardinals family. And thank you all so much for 3,000 subscribers, 4,000 coming up next. The first report we shall look at is this one from a Cardinals reporter and aggregated by Sleeper Cardinals. Arizona has done, quote, a lot of extensive research on quarterback Brendan Sorsby already. I would expect that they will have interest. That is a pretty telling report here. Obviously, we've heard the Cardinals link to Sorsby a lot before, and it's not just Gambo, but also Albert Breer went on Colin Cowherd's show, and Breer's an NFL insider himself. He says, quote, if you're the Browns, Jets, Dolphins, Cardinals, one of these teams that did not take a quarterback high in 2026, you could get your QB situation taken care of now with a 2 or 3, meaning a second or third round bid for Brendan Sorsby. So once again, the Arizona Cardinals listed as a team that could be linked to Brendan Sorsby. Let's talk about this concept a little bit real quick on the show because it's controversial. I'll say, obviously, the Cardinals need a quarterback. I mean, their situation compared to every other team in the league, they might be the most quarterback-needy team because their starter, Jacoby Brissett, who's generally a backup, is asking for an extension, and he might not even show up or play. All right, that's where we sit. And Brendan Sorsby, he has tools. He has talent. Okay, a lot of analysts said maybe he is a first-round talent. Daniel Jeremiah was talking about him the other day, and he said Brendan Sorsby, he's got elite size, arm strength, athleticism. He can make every throw. I do like the mobility, the traits, the size. I mean, it's there. You know, it needs fine-tuning. It's not perfect. And then you got the off-field issues, and we'll touch on that a second. But there's absolutely upside in Brendan Sorsby. I do wonder where he would have been drafted this year, probably in the first round. But could he even play this year? This is the thing that deters me from the Arizona Cardinals being a team interested in Sorsby. Think about it. Because, first of all, he's getting to your team in late July. You gotta learn the playbook while everybody's in training camp. Also, Mike Florio of NBC Sports, who used to be a lawyer, he actually told me that personally one time. The NFL can suspend Sorsby if they want to. They have their own policy and governing body, if you will. It's all up to Roger Goodell. If he didn't want Sorsby to play, he wouldn't. So there's still an outside chance that he gets suspended in the league. I don't foresee that. I'm not predicting that. But, when you're telling me the Cardinals might have to give up a really high second-round pick, because their second next year could be pick 34, pick 35, for a guy that there's a chance he doesn't play this year, I'm weary. There's also a chance he falls back into betting. This was a serious addiction that he had to go to treatment for. And if he ever did bet again while being a member of the Cardinals in the National Football League, there's no doubt he'd be suspended, and probably for at least an entire season, depending on the nature of these bets. So it's a risk, it's a gamble, and it's one I don't know I'm willing to take. What do you guys say? In the comment section, let me know, Cardinals fans, should the Cardinals draft Brendan Sorsby? Type Y for yes, type N for no. Let me know your thoughts on this concept, okay? Obviously, there's the upside, there's the talent, what he could be, but there's the big risk, the big gamble, if you will, on taking him with a high pick. Let me know in the comment section your thoughts on that matter. Next up, we'll talk a little bit more about Cardinals news on Carson Beck and Sorsby's value. What pick would you have to give up if you want this dude in July? That's what's coming up. But first, I want to give a special shout-out to our good friends over at Prize Picks. Prize Picks is the place to go if you love daily fantasy sports. Player picks on fire right now, and there's no better place to cash in while watching sports than with Prize Picks. Basically, guys, the app is really easy to use. It's a lot of fun. You pick more or less on a few player stats and lock in your lineup. I play it every day, and with the social feed feature, you can copy your friends' lineups or celebrity lineups with a single click. Producer Ethan has cooked up a lineup for the season, and he believes in Marvin Harrison Jr. He is going with the more on Marv's receiving touchdowns. Ethan thinks he's going to be unlocked this year, which I'm optimistic about as well. He's also going with the more on Cam Ward's passing touchdowns, more than 18.5. But producer Ethan, he's what's the word? Frugal. He $1 lineup to pay out $3. You guys can make whatever kind of lineups you want, but you got to download the PrizePicks app to do that. And new user offer: if you download the PrizePicks app today and use code HMA, well, you'll get $50 in lineups when you play your first $5 lineup. The link is in the comment section and description of today's video. That is code HMA. Get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. PrizePicks. It's good to be right. This, I thought, was interesting when we discuss Sorsby's value. All 32 NFL teams are expected to attend Brendan Sorsby's Pro Day, according to Pete Thamel. His Pro Day is scheduled for July 10th, folks, a little less than a month. I'll have you updated on how that goes, so hit subscribe if you're interested. What is Sorsby worth then? Seems like every team wants to get at least a feel of what he looks like at this Pro Day. I mean, it is a bigger story than I think we realized. Maybe you hadn't heard of Brendan Sorsby before the whole gambling thing. Clearly scouts were high on him before this anyways. And Jeremy Fowler, who works for ESPN as an NFL insider, says Sorsby would enter the draft with sizable value to teams. Several execs I spoke with over the past few weeks agree he is worth a second-round pick in the supplemental draft. One AFC executive predicted Sorsby would have been a late first-rounder if he were available in April's traditional draft. And this is where you have to balance. Because to me, a second-rounder is steep, especially for the Arizona Cardinals, who might have a high second-rounder, and Sorsby's a risk with upside. Now, the other part of this, though, they're saying that Sorsby would be a first-round pick this year, could be one next year, and you can get him early. I don't know. I mean, it would have been a whole college football season to see before we decide if he would have been that good of a pick. My take is if the Cardinals believe he could play this year, then I would put down the third rounder, maybe a second if you really believe in his talent. Okay, that to me is the biggest thing from the Cardinals' perspective, because you're going to have a chance to get the quarterback you want next year in the first round. I imagine the Cardinals' pick will be higher than most. So drafting Sorsby now to not play this year, that doesn't solve your issue. But if he can't, because, like I said, he's also going to get to a team late. There's no way he starts week 1. It makes no sense. Just wait for the 2027 quarterback class where you'll have your pick of the litter with that high draft pick if you're Arizona. That's my take on it. Too much of a risk to give up that high of a pick. If you get him for a third rounder, sure, that's fine, given that he could have been a first. But I'm not dipping into that high second, high first to get him right now. Other thing is, we might see Carson Beck play in some action this year. Maybe you'd rather see a little bit of Beck before the 2027 class than try to rush Sorsby onto the field and make an evaluation in, not that many games. And when I say some action, I'm speculating about the regular season. I'm sure we see him in preseason, which will be fun to watch, and you'll want to tune in. I'll be live for the Hall of Fame game on this very channel. Carson Beck talked about that Hall of Fame game, and he said, it is an amazing opportunity to not only showcase my skill set and what I can do, but for our entire team as we step into that game and the rest of preseason. Listen, the Cardinals seem to really like Beck, and I'm excited to watch him in that Hall of Fame game. I'd like to see him in some preseason action. You probably won't see him early on in the year because if Jacoby is finally going to play, that is. And it'd be cool to just see him out there and, start to get a feel of, okay, can he do this? High third-round pick, can he be a starter in the league? I'd like to see, because I will say he does fit Mike LaFleur's style of quarterback better than Brendan Sorsby does. I like a mobile QB. Some coaches don't, some teams don't. LaFleur likes the pocket passer. He's sold as Matthew Stafford's offensive coordinator. He sort of likes that pocket passer toughness. Also, reportedly, I'd really like Ty Simpson. And, of course, really likes Carson Beck. And that's why they drafted him so high. So, I think the fit scheme-wise, LaFleur probably would rather do a little more with Beck. But make no mistake about it, Brendan Sorsby miles ahead of Carson Beck as a prospect. Okay, Beck was considered a reach in this draft, and I do think that's an accurate thing to say. Also, Sorsby would have been probably QB2 in this year's class, even ahead of Ty Simpson. So make no mistake, from a prospect standpoint, Sorsby's got more gifts, more upside, but Beck probably a better scheme fit for what LaFleur likes to do. And Beck still has physical traits. I mean, he's tall, strong, right? Like, the thing I like about him most is the work ethic. So he's got stuff. We'll see if it can translate onto the field in the National Football League. But to me, Cardinals aren't going to put in a high bid because of all that I just said. It's a third maximum from Arizona. Is what I would see. If they put a second in, that's too risky for me. I would see them going for a third. You let me know in the comment section, know what kind of pick would you be willing to give up for Brendan Sorsby, okay? Because whichever one you submit, you forfeit in next year's draft. So are you okay foregoing a first, a second, a third, fourth, or none at all? Comment down below what pick you would give up for Brendan Sorsby in the supplemental draft. And then, last thing we'll talk about is I actually think the Cardinals have a lot of pieces on offense, and they're closer than people realize. We'll dive into that and how the quarterback could solve all of their issues. But I also want to let you guys know, today's show is made possible by SeatGeek. When it's time to get out of the house, there's not many better options right now than a sporting event. If you use code CHAT10, you get 10% off your next set of tickets. MLB's in full swing, the NFL schedule is out, and you can now get World Cup tickets on SeatGeek. This could be a once-in-a-lifetime experience to go to a World Cup game while it's in America. And I'm also looking at those Cardinals 9 home games, okay? I want to watch Jeremiah Love play in person. I want to watch Trey McBride tear it up. Like, offense is going to be more fun this year than people realize, and SeatGeek has your back with those games. Each ticket rated on a scale of 1 to 10, so you know you're getting a good deal. So look for the green dots. Green means good, red means bad. And, of course, I have a code for you guys. You can use code CHAT10 for 10% off your next set of tickets at SeatGeek. That is 10% off any tickets with promo code CHAT10. Make sure you click the link in the description to download the app and have the code automatically added to your account so you can use it later. Thank you, SeatGeek. Offensively, guys, Cardinals aren't bad. Now, could they use the right tackle? Yeah, they could still beef up that O-line. But there's weapons. I think they're in a better spot than most teams are. Offensively, they're closer than people realize, that people give them credit for, because they were so bad last year, and they'll probably be bad this year. Okay, but I think they're in a better spot than, like, look at the Miami Dolphins. Can you name the wide receiver one on the Miami Dolphins? It's egregious. Pretty sure it's Malik Washington. The Cardinals have 2 better wide receivers. Well, Michael Wilson, Marvin Harrison Jr. would be the 1 and 2 on that team as well. They're a pretty good wide receiver duo. Like, I also like Bourne as a 3, by the way. I think he's a sneaky good signing. People aren't as high on him as I am, but I actually think he is a sneaky decent signing for Arizona this offseason. You drafted Reggie Virgil, too, who's got a highlight tape that I can't ignore. You got Duvernay, who will help return kicks. Like, there's young offensive talent on the roster. Now you look at the running back room. Jeremiah Love, he's more than just a running back. He's a playmaker. He's a weapon. He's a receiver. I mean, he's a blocker. He's a stud. He's a thumper. And you put him in a room that already has Tyler Algier, James Conner, and Trey Benson. I mean, there's so many offensive weapons on this team that you finally get the quarterback and they will be living large. Not to mention, who might be the best tight end in all of football? It's McBride and Bowers to me, and McBride has had back-to-back 1,000-yard seasons, 11 touchdowns last year. I mean, I don't know if anybody plays fantasy football, but you got to get yourself Trey McBride. The dude's a stud. They just need that quarterback. So you could see why the Cardinals would be in these Brendan Sorsby rumors, because if you think there's a chance to finally get that quarterback, they are a team that should swing. But given that he might not be able to play this year, I don't think the swing is as calculated as it looks on the outside to some of these national media members like Albert Breer. One more thing I want to tell you guys about is we've got new USA t-shirts here at Chat Sports, okay? So if you're ready to rep the country, if you're ready to party hard on 4th of July, we've got a new collection here at chatsports.com/USA. Shop that USA collection, everybody, and a deal for people as Well, you buy 2 items in the USA 250 and you'll get $10 off. Chatsports.com/USA. Party hard this 4th of July. It's pretty cool that we're able to get out America merch for their 250th birthday. But that'll do it for today's show, guys. Make sure you hit that subscribe button if you haven't already. I've had a good time talking Cardinals football with you all, and I hope you enjoyed it as well. So subscribe if you haven't already. I've been your host, Joey O'Donohue, and I'll see you guys next time.